In this video, I'm going to go over more examples of simplifying radicals. Specifically, I'm going to work out the following 8 examples step by step. Starting with the first 2 examples. Example 1, root 5 times root 8 minus root 32. That's root 5 times root 8, which we write as 2 root 2, and root 32, which we can write as 4 root 2. That's equal to root 5 times 2 root 2 minus 4 root 2, which is equivalent to minus 2 root 2. We have minus 2 times root 5 times root 2. Root 5 times root 2 is equal to root 10. That's our final answer. Example 2, root 3 plus 2 root 5 times root 3 minus 4 root 5. That's equal to root 3 times root 3 plus root 3 times minus 4 root 5 plus 2 root 5 times root 3 plus 2 root 5 times minus 4 root 5, which is equal to root 3 times root 3, that's just 3, root 3 times minus 4 root 5, that's minus 4 root 15, plus 2 root 5 times root 3, that's 2 root 15, and finally 2 root 5 times minus 4 root 5. 2 times minus 4 is minus 8, and root 5 times root 5 is 5, so minus 8 times 5 is minus 40. This gives us a final answer of minus 37 minus 2 root 15. On to examples 3 and 4. In example 3, let us simplify square root of 10 minus 7 quantity squared. This is of the form a minus b quantity squared, which recall expands as a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Here, square root of 10 is playing the role of a, and 7 is playing the role of b. We have square root of 10 squared, that's a squared, minus 2 square root of 10 times 7, that's 2ab, plus 7 squared, which is b squared. Square root of 10 squared is 10, minus 14 square root of 10, plus 49, and that's equal to 59 minus 14 square root of 10. Example 4, let's simplify 2 square root of 3 plus 4 quantity squared. This is of the form a plus b quantity squared, which expands as a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Here, 2 root 3 is playing the role of a, and 4 is playing the role of b. So we have 2 square root of 3 squared, that's a squared, plus 2 times 2 root 3 times 4, that's 2ab, plus 4 squared, which is b squared. 2 square root of 3 is 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 2 times 2 times 4 is 16 times root 3, plus 16. So the simplified answer is 28 plus 16 square root of 3. Example 5, let's simplify square root of x minus square root of 6 times square root of x plus square root of 6. Notice this is of the form a minus b times a plus b, which expands as a squared minus b squared. Here, square root of x is playing the role of a, and square root of 6 is playing the role of b. So, square root of x minus square root of 6 times square root of x plus square root of 6 equals square root of x squared minus square root of 6 squared, which is equal to x minus 6. Example 6, let's simplify the quotient 2 over 4 minus root 3. To do that, I'm going to multiply by the conjugate of 4 minus root 3 up and down. So, 2 over 4 minus root 3 times 4 plus root 3 over 4 plus root 3. That's equal to 2 times 4 plus root 3, that's the numerator. The denominator is 4 minus root 3 times 4 plus root 3, which is of the form a minus b, a plus b. So that's equal to 4 squared, which is 16, minus square root of 3 squared, which is 3. This gives 8 plus 2 root 3 over 13, which we can write as 8 over 13 plus 2 over 13 root 3. Example 7, let's simplify the quotient 6 plus root 2, all divided by root 2 minus 5. To do that, we're going to multiply by the conjugate of root 2 minus 5 up and down. The conjugate of root 2 minus 5 is root 2 plus 5. So, 6 plus root 2 over root 2 minus 5 is equal to 6 plus root 2 minus 5 times root 2 plus 5 over root 2 plus 5. That's equal to 6 root 2 plus 6 times 5, which is 30, plus root 2 times root 2, which is 2, plus root 2 times 5, which is 5 root 2. The denominator is root 2 minus 5, root 2 plus 5, which is equal to root 2 squared minus 25. We have 30 plus 2, which is 32, plus 6 root 2 plus 5 root 2, which is 11 root 2, all divided by 2 minus 25, which is minus 23. We can write our final answer as minus 32 over 23 minus 11 over 23 root 2. Finally, example 8. Let's simplify 4 over 3 plus root x. Multiply by the conjugate 3 minus root x up and down. So 4 over 3 plus root x times 3 minus root x. That's equal to 4 times 3 minus root x divided by 3 squared, which is 9, minus root x squared, which is x. That's equal to 12 minus 4 root x, all divided by 9 minus x.